Well, hello, YouTube, atheists, Christians, and anyone else that would show an interest in my channel. This is Deroy Cruz, your life applications officer, and in closing, this will be my last video for a while dealing with these atheists. Because after the comment that I got first of all, just last night on one of my old channels, I told atheists if they have questions about stuff that I already said, go to the whole series. That's what YouTube is all about. Go to the whole series. And they went back to my old series and left a big FU there. Okay, okay. Welcome to atheism. You know, I'm not surprised. Also, you know, me being on YouTube is just like anybody else being on YouTube. I don't really understand, and I'm not going to pretend to understand. Like I said in the last video, where you atheists are coming from. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I don't have a problem with Christianity is because I believe it is the foundation. And when I say foundation, I don't mean the term. If you got a little bit of common sense, I don't mean the term itself, but I mean what it is supposed to be. What it is supposed to be. Original. Okay? I'm not saying that all Christians are good Christians. I'm not saying that all Christians are good people. I'm not saying that I know all Christians. But my argument is that I know what a Christian is supposed to be. And if I didn't know what a Christian is supposed to be, I wouldn't be one. Now, maybe as an atheist, you feel that you naturally woke up one day and realized that, hey, there is no God. Why am I worried about my life? Why am I worried about, what's right or wrong? Or why am I worried about this or that? Well, I don't worry about any of that either. I do right because I find it attractive. I live for God because I find it attractive. I'm anti a lot of things, and I abstain from things because I understand why I would do such a thing. And I find it attractive to do so, to abstain. I remember people trying to tease me back in the day. It's not just the atheists. Atheists, it's not about you. It's about all of us. It's about all the people. And there's people, I could break down the world into two people. But for your sake, I won't do that. And for the sake that somebody that might be watching this channel that's not an atheist, I won't do that. But I could easily break down everything into two groups of people. I remember going to work and people attacking me because I'm not a fornicator. Getting angry with me. And then, here comes He's scared of coochie. He's gay. He's this. He's that. He's this. He's that. And then when that didn't work, they started cursing the Bible and cursing, religion and, put me in a religion that I'm not in and all this stuff. Hold up. When I think back to that, I'm like, that sounds like atheists. Lets me know it's not about you, atheists. It's about all of us. And I could break it down. I could break everything down into two groups of people. But that's another video. My first question is for you. And the second one, I'm going to ask one for you. And then I have a third one in here somewhere, I think. You ain't never answered any of my questions. The first one is, what bothers you more, atheists? The fact that I've made all these videos pointing my finger at atheism? That I have the nerve to say anything negative about atheism? Or that I'm a Christian? All Christians aren't on YouTube making videos. All Christians ain't giving a squat about atheism. My pastor doesn't give a squat about atheism. You say atheism, he starts acting dumb. He don't care. I said that in another video. Not his problem, and I commend him for that. And he's received some emails. It's not just YouTube. He's received some emails from not only hateful atheists, but hateful witches, hateful Muslims, you name it. It's not about you. You are part of a bigger cult. So what bothers you more? Did I do atheist videos? Which I don't do just atheist videos, but I do a lot of atheist videos. I come at you with what you come at me with, which is proof that your own, this thing right here, your own mouth debunks you. Because I only dish out what you give to me to dish out. I don't even go in here. I don't even need this to debunk atheism. This is what they hate about me so much. Because I come at them from what they say to me. Because I come to them as my rights as an American citizen. As an American citizen, my right to be a Christian and my right to preach the gospel. In a respectful way. Now, all Christians aren't out there doing things respectful. I went on a channel not too long ago where a guy went to a meeting where these people were putting up an atheist tent. He went up there and put up a Bible tent, church tent, and started putting his stuff on a loudspeaker where the atheists weren't even putting their stuff on a loudspeaker. People were coming to them, to their little tent, and he was offended, so he went up there and put up a tent. If I got the video right, the guy never did explain to me whose tent went up first, but I'm just assuming the way it looked and what the atheists were saying. I'm taking the atheist word for it, see? I'm taking the atheist word for it. They were there first. They had a tent. This Christian brother didn't like it, so he went up there and put up a tent, okay? And, well, it wasn't a tent. He went up on a pole, a stage to a pole, and got up on there and started yelling and preaching. And I gotta admit, if that's the way it went down, if that's the way it really went down, that does make it look bad for Team Christian. It really does. People like that, usually we can't sit across from each other. once we get down to that part of it. But I'm not apologizing for Christians, because everybody has a back door. Everybody has, okay, garbage. And acknowledging that you have garbage is what makes the difference. And dealing with your garbage, and everyone knows you deal with your garbage, is what makes the difference. Do atheists deal with garbage? Not one time have I seen an atheist correct another atheist on my channel. I've seen non-believers correct atheists. Okay? Now I have seen one atheist, like atheism is unstoppable. I've seen him correct Jink Auger. I've seen him correct Jacqueline Glenn. I've seen him correct the drunken peasants and all like that. But usually atheists, they think that just because they're atheists, bravo, we're atheists. Yeah, it doesn't matter what we do wrong, and it doesn't matter if I'm an atheist and this jack behind over here makes me look stupid. Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because we're atheists. That's another reason that I am convinced what atheism really is all about. I went over my notes and I tried to find something to apologize about. And I will apologize only if I have said anything that's what I was going to say earlier. After that video, the comment that I got last night, and after a warning from YouTube itself, and I'm trying to, I wish I could have seen what they're talking about. But after that, I rest my case. I rest my case. You say all these things towards Christians. You say all these hateful things, and you call us names, and my favorite last night, go F yourself. No comment on the video, just go F yourself. Okay. Alright, well, thank you. Thank you, that's all I need to hear. That's all I need to hear. Is an atheist who claims he's got morals, who claims that they got more morals than Christians even, who claim that Christianity is the worstest thing, and all this. And we're doing all this wrong for him to tell me to go F myself. To tell me that science is the law of everything. Science explains it all. Tell me to go F myself. We don't need morality. We don't need, or morality is relative, or whatever. And, okay, that's how you relate. So, because I make videos confronting the things that go on in our world today, and atheism is just one of them things, and I receive a lot of hate mail from atheists, so I made my own channel, and half my channel goes to me confronting atheism. But this atheist had told me to go F myself last night. Okay, I guess he was dealing with what he calls the violence in this world, the hatred and the bigotry and the crime in this world. I didn't put my hands on anything. And the video that he was addressing was a lot more mellow than some of the videos I just recently posted. But, go F yourself, is what he said. Now, you're free to deal with that. I'm not going to let that be my problem, atheists. That's not my problem. That's your problem. That's coming from your cult. Okay? Show me anywhere on YouTube out of 1 million Christians where one of them told you to go F yourself. I'm not saying that it didn't happen. But I believe it did. I believe some people aren't really Christians. They're just people to go to church, and they have no spirit in them of the Lord, and it's easy for them to tell you go F yourself. Especially if they can't win an argument, which best way out of that is don't argue, because the Bible says abstain from arguments. Do I need to go to it? It says in here, abstain from arguments. And it tells you the very things that atheists want to argue about. Abstain from arguments. Now an atheist will criticize that. Hey, to me this is the Word of God. Not the Word of God to you, like I said before. Word of God to us that believe. So what bothers you more? What bothers you more? The fact that we do these videos, or I do these videos, or the fact that I'm a Christian and I have faith in God, I believe in God? Because when I'm not doing this channel, I have nothing to say to an atheist. I have nothing to say to a homosexual. I have nothing to say to any of these people except, hi, have a great weekend, see you on Monday. That's it. I have nothing to say. I have no criticism for you. I have no fighting for you. This is the place right here. Okay? I think it's kind of childish to come to YouTube and get all emotionally butthurt when all we're doing is doing videos here. We're having an open discussion. Okay? But to get so angry, to make threats and talk about things that ain't got nothing to do with it, and then my favorite, go F yourself. Hey, that explains it all to me. That explains it all to me. That's your comment on a video. Go F yourself. Even Conor McGregor got a little bit more to say than that. A little bit too much to say. Good Lord. I wish that guy shut up. And even though this might be all staged, I really wish they shut up with this. Them trying to be like the WWF and talk trash. They suck at it. They need to stop. I mean, and I'm convinced that the atheists aren't taking things seriously. This thing is huge. When we go to tampering with whether God exists or not. When we go to tampering with, do we have any respect for God or not? Do we have, when we go to tampering with the idea of whether morals come from God or whether morals come from us, do we make these as we go along? That's huge, man. That's a big deal. I don't mess with that. I let the truth that exists be the truth that it already exists. I don't go in there and try to cut out the truth that exists and make my own truth. I'm not going to do that. Okay? But atheists, they think that they are on the MMA circuit. And they're just duking it out online with Christians. Because I got to admit, I don't see them on the street. And every time someone told me that they ran into an atheist, the atheist was very, very, very... He ran away. He it wasn't like this stuff I'm seeing on YouTube. He ran away. He ran off. Once he said something rude or said something and they corrected him, he just kind of ran off. He did a runner. Okay? Anyway, it's not about you, atheists. Not about you. Here's the other question. If I didn't lose it, taking too long to get to it. The question I'll ask for you, that was my question for you. What bothers you more? The fact that we are on YouTube? Or the fact that we're Christians and we believe in preaching the gospel? Which one bothers you? I want an answer. Y'all don't answer questions. The other question I'm going to ask myself in your favor. What would it take me to give up believing in God? And I'm not like you. I do thinking before I answer or make statements. You know, I don't jump. I wouldn't jump out of my faith for the second time without really carefully thinking and doing my homework. What would uh, what would make me give up my faith in Jesus Christ? What would make me give up Christianity? What would make me stop believing in God? Only one thing. Is if I found out that man created life. That man was the creator of things. Not just sitting there talking about it and doing theories on things. But he created. If man can get up there and fix that ozone layer so that we don't all, so that the earth lasts longer. If man could create life. When I go out in the world every day and I see extremely beautiful people versus other people, I'll put it like that. When I see extremely healthy people versus other people. When I see people handicapped from birth. When I see, all these things. What would it take me to give up on God? For man to be able to perhaps go to the dust of the earth and create human life. I didn't say cloning. Matter of fact, I was just watching Star Wars, and it seems to me that atheists are in this religion of revenge of the Sith. You just don't know just how religious Star Wars is. Now maybe Star Trek is all about science or something, but Star Wars is very religious. But Anakin went to the dark side, and when I look at a film like that, I see this guy backsliding and leaving the church and becoming an atheist. He becomes an atheist and he joins the dark side. Okay? And that one of the things that they never show in these films, and it's kind of good in a way, but in a way it's not, is the lifestyles of people once they are on the good side. The Jedis versus the Sith. Who has, what I'm saying? Like, what is their lifestyle versus, see, that's what it's all about. It's about who you are when you leave work every day. It's about who you are when you leave the movie set every day. It's about who you are when you're away from the public eye. Who are you? That's what it's about. That's one thing they keep out of movies, is people's personal lives. Or they do it vice versa. Too much of their personal life and not enough of their work life. But all that goes together. It's not about you, atheists. But it would take you to create what is lacking from nature, not from a lab, from nature, in order for me to give up on God. If you could create life, if you could create me, If you could lay me down and fix me up and make me better than what I am. Okay? Not by putting steroids in me or putting, drugs in me or cutting something out and putting something plastic or titanium in there or anything like that. If you could take me and make me something that I'm already not, by nature itself, everything that you're putting in me is natural. And it's mine. It doesn't belong to somebody else. Nobody had to die for you to give me life. And it's not done in a lab. It's done, naturally. Then I would believe. I would believe that whoever God is, He's not the authority. Or maybe God doesn't exist. Maybe it is energy that exists. If you could create life, and if you could fix the things that are troubling in the world, human suffering, as well as climate problems and you name it, then maybe I would believe that God is not who He says He is. One more time, atheists, one more thing. It's not about you. It's about all of us. It's about the whole world. The fact that non-believers, non-atheists are content. The fact that non-believers, which means non-atheists, are content with so-called theism, proves atheism a cult. Because it would just be atheists and Christians. There wouldn't be no non-believers arguing with atheists in between. There wouldn't be no non-believers arguing with Christians. You're either an atheist or you're a Christian. So if an atheist is a non-believer and my neighbor is a non-believer, but an atheist is an extremist, he's taking it to the extreme compared to other non-believers, that makes you a cult. Atheists choose to be this huge misdemeanor. I wouldn't call you violent. I wouldn't call you, I say criminals because there's more criminality going on in your head and coming out of your mouth than what's coming out of your hand, okay? But what you're doing until you do it is a misdemeanor. I mean, and I'm not only speaking for you atheists that are on YouTube. I'm not speaking for the people that are going around the world and pulling people out of the churches and pulling people out of their ministry to the gospel and converting them to atheists. I'm only speaking to those that want to argue. You're a big fat misdemeanor. Okay? If you were the criminal, if your fantasies came true, you'd be in prison. Okay, that's where you would be. You'd be emailing me from prison talking your smack. Maybe half of y'all are. I don't know. I really don't know. That comment last night, I don't know. Where was he speaking from? Prison? You just walk on somebody's channel and say, go F yourself. I mean, okay. I'm convinced. This is the 150th time you lost a convert, atheist. You won't get me. But you choose to be this misdemeanor smack in the middle of society, like everybody's ready to just throw away all belief like that. They're not. You need to come at a later time. But you're late, though. You're late as far as what you're saying. But you're new and too early as far as what you're doing. You're late as far as what you say and how you try to debunk so to speak, Christianity, but, or religion for that matter. You're late, but you're early as far as trying to get the whole world walking out there and trying. Anytime you got more non-believers arguing with you more than religious people. Hello? What's that tell you? Okay? But you get so offended and take it so personal when you are corrected by those that understand. And I do understand. It's not that I'm trying to reign authority over you or act like you or nothing. I apologize if that's what I gave you, if that's the idea that I gave you. I'm just saying I know what I believe. I know what I believe, and I know why and how. Okay? And it works for me. It's been working for me. I already used to be like you. I already used to be a non-believer. I never been an atheist. But I know what it's like to live without God, without worrying about what's going on and what I should be doing as a Christian. I know what it's like to be free of that. Revenge of the Sith. That's what it's like to be like that. You know what I'm saying? I think I even look a little better since I left the Revenge of the Sith. Oh my. Again, atheists claim to be scholars of things that they don't even believe in. I'll never understand that. Give me a freaking break. What is this guy talking about? Oh, atheists know the Bible more than Christians do. That's the problem. That's another thing that proves you a cult. Why would you? Never mind. Okay. I'm not a scholar of atheists. I'm not a scholar of Muslims. I'm not a scholar at none of that stuff. I'm not a scholar at anything. I'm a scholar at this. All I want to do is help people find the truth. That's all I want to do. You say you got the truth? Okay. Well, then, okay. Take your truth and go over there. But if you come to me, I'm going to let you know I have the truth. I don't know what that is you got. I got the truth. But I'm not a scholar of anything except what I'm living and breathing. Okay? As if the average Christian cannot see the deception that is going on here. And I mean, like I said before, the only people that you atheists are deceiving are those that are on the fence about to fall off on the wrong side of it. Those that are on the fence that are about to fall off on the wrong side of it. You're not deceiving real Christians. That's why when you tell me that I used to be an atheist and I left the church, you were never born again. You were never grounded in God. Okay? Hate to bust your bubble. Because when you're grounded, okay, you're going to turn right around and you're going to make atheists either pick up rocks and throw them at you. They're going to try to stone you to death. Or they're going to turn around and run like a lot of them do. Run away angry. They're not going to be sitting there having a conversation. You're not going to sit down and have tea and toast and talk about why you need or let somebody persuade you how to leave the church and be free from God. There's no such thing. You were never a Christian. You were never born again. You were a church goer. I was born and raised in a church where a certain number of the members were still racist while they claimed to be Christians. I was born and raised in a church where half the church was living in fornication and ending up in prison and doing all kinds of crazy things because they had never been born again. Now today we're all older and some of them people came back to the church just like I did. Listen to their testimony now compared to what it used to be 20, 30 years ago. And we all go through that. Some longer. I only went through it for 3 or 4 years. Some of it go longer. Some people go longer. And after all this time, I'm finding out that there are more people that naturally accept that there is a God and that someone has the truth. But they're just lazy and don't think it's their responsibility to know and respond to what they uncover. So, I'm finding out that even though atheism is growing in my life, I'm from Pittsburgh, in my life, most of the people I meet today, that's just like yesterday. We was outside and there's a lady, that comes outside and she's not a Christian, but I could talk to her about, we went to, and she's not only is she not a Christian, she's a Democrat. I'm a Republican and I'm a Christian. She's a Democrat and she's a non-believer, but she's not an atheist. She and I talked about Bible prophecy. This is how I know lies. I know these lies. Because me and this woman were two totally different people, but yet we talked about Bible prophecy. And even though she's not a Christian, she believed that the end is going to be in God's hands. That in this Bible, she don't know it all that well, but she believes that in this Bible somewhere is the end, the way it is the picture of how it's going to end. She's not a Christian. Oh my God, she's not even a Republican. That's how I know lies that are coming from your cult. That's how I know. These militant atheists, however, have subscribed to this cult. They think it's their job to crush faith. Christians first, then all religion. It starts with the Christians. Why? Because, in your opinion, we have the best argument. We have the biggest argument. Okay? And even though you're EMOCs of the atheist religion, don't tell their followers the truth about their dogma. Okay? Truth about their dogma has a twist. There's a twist in the way they're presenting it. But they know, some of them know the truth, and they still continue to lie to you. Okay? And the truth is that yes, it all did start with God and with the people that believed in God, and they were doing things because they believed in God. But then somebody said, well, if y'all can do that, we're gonna build an altar over here, and we're gonna give it a different name to a different God. And they rebelled against Noah. They rebelled against Noah. Noah's own family, if you knew anything about the nonsense that comes out of your mouth, Noah's own family were pagan. You want to talk about paganism? Get up, go to the. You say it don't exist. Okay, go to the library and look up the word Nimrod, and do a study on Nimrod. You'll see just how. You'll see what paganism truly means. Nimrod married his mama. Okay? After everybody, after the whole garden ordeal, after the flood, Nimrod married his mama. That whole Tower of Babel, that whole Tower of Babel thing was Nimrod's idea. Okay? I took a shower today. I got water. I'm all clogged up. I got so much water inside my head. I mean, my goodness, man, I really overdid it with You know, like I've never got so much water in my ears and my nose, and it's still draining. Anyway, I'm getting ready to close here. These militant atheists, however, have subscribed to this cult that they think is their job to crush faith. The Christians first, then all religion. The main upset of atheists is not that the main upset of atheists is that the gospel is being preached. That is your main upset. I asked you the question earlier. Your main upset is that the gospel is being preached. Some of you will go to a Christian music channel, as I've said in many, many videos, and attack people for singing love songs to Jesus, or singing love songs to a Christian marriage, or the video could just be about love and romance. But the artist that's singing it is a Christian. And because you know she's a Christian, you go there as an atheist and you start preaching your hate stuff. Another thing that just debunks this cult. But your main upset is that the gospel is being preached. And now I got to watch my back. I got to carry a little something with me. Maybe a little pepper spray. Maybe a little taser with me now. It's so bad that if I find somebody on the street and we go to talking about the Lord, and if I raise my voice a little bit, they get loud a little bit, and we got to really whisper when we're talking about the Lord, because we don't want bystanders to know that we're talking about the Lord, because an atheist might walk up and go off. And if I tell him, like, sir, I'm talking to her or him, or they're talking to me, maybe you should come back later, because nobody in this little circle is an atheist. These people, we're talking about going to church. Obviously, these guys don't want to be atheists, so why don't you go over there and go back in the Whole Foods and finish shopping or doing whatever you was doing? Because I don't want to do some David Lynn on you and have some guys that I thought was Muslims. They're converted Christians. They're converted from Islam to Christianity. They took that guy down and put him on the ground and put his hands behind his back. They was doing some serious security work, man. Go ahead, my Arab brothers. In the name of Jesus. That was just beautiful. They took him down, then the African lady was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? She was hitting him with a purse. Hey, you take the man down. What are you doing? David Lynn was like, we're making a citizen's arrest. She said, you're not a cop. You're not a cop. He was, lady, I'm standing here. He tried to take my microphone. He tried to punch me in my face, and these gentlemen took this man down, and this one white lady, oh my goodness, took this man down. We're making a citizen's arrest. Woo, glory. I love it. I just love it. I love it. I love it. But anyway, I'm going to close there. I'll do the rest of this in the next video. One of these days, I'm going to do this from a video camera that gives me more time. Eventually, what I want to do is I want to set up my regular computer. I have a desktop, but it needs to be fixed. And I really don't feel like investing the money to get it fixed, and I really don't have the time to, and I really don't want to pay for a separate, I don't want to have more than one internet program running. I'm doing everything from one internet program right now, so. But I guarantee you, I promise all of you that are viewing my channel is going to become pretty soon more graphic and more interesting, more media friendly. So I will see you very soon in the next video. Stay tuned for part 4, I guess, or I'm going to call it 3B. And I'm going to finish out, and then I'm done. And we can talk about other things. Amen. So God bless you. Thanks for watching. See you soon.